Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to look at the if-else condition, or if and else, depending on how you want to look at it, statements slash conditions in the Go programming language. I already have my terminal open, so we're just going to go ahead and start to create the directory and the files. So Go is pretty simple as it relates to if-else, extremely straightforward, and we're just gonna go ahead and dive right into it. So let's create a directory, and I would have attempted to do this before. So you can see that I'm getting this autocomplete. So we have created the if else state directory, and I'm just gonna cd into it. So and also what I'm gonna do is just a vim if else.go. So now we have this if else.go state file here. So the next thing is just to create the package main. And one thing that I think I would like to do even before I continue with this is to actually ls. I think I want to change this to actually main. So we have the folder and then we change it to main instead of the name of it, and have them all as main. And that is because I want to add a readme into here to add additional content. So that's something that I think I'm looking into. You guys can let me know if you think that's a good idea. And additionally, I'll probably just create another video specifically for updating all of these. So for this video, we're just gonna work with if else. So let's go ahead and vim this again, main, and let's continue. And we need the FMT library there, and let's create the main function here. Now, again, as I mentioned before, it's very straightforward in Go, and additionally, like the previous tutorial that we had with for, it doesn't use the brackets. So that's pretty much the only syntactic. This is pretty much one of the only syntactic differences as it relates to any other programming languages, is that it doesn't really use brackets here for the conditions and certain statements. So let's say, for example, the 7 mod 2 is equal to 0. So if that is true, then what we're going to do is we're going to print out that 7 is even. So 7 is even. So we can go ahead and save this. This is false, obviously. So if I do a go run if else, you realize that we don't get anything. So that's a basic if statement right there. So let's go ahead and vim this again. And let's say, for example, now we add an else to it. And what we want to do is print to say that it is odd in the event that it does not mod to 0. So let's say 7 is an odd number, basically. So let's go ahead now and save this. And if we run it again, you can see that it prints out that 7 is odd. Just go ahead, go back in here, continue. Next thing that we want to look at is that you don't necessarily have to use the if, as I had showed you before. You can use this with or without the if, and it's pretty simple. But as I showed you in the previous one, is that you could pretty much just do if first and then an if else. I'm gonna do another if to show just as a basic example for this, just without an if else statement. So let's say, for example, we do an 8 mod 4, and if this is equal to 0, then we're gonna do a print here. And what we're going to print is to say that 8 is divisible by 4. And that is what we're going to be printing out in the event that that is divisible, or if it mods out to it, which is true. So let's go ahead now and try something else. And this is still basically like show how the variables also work if you declare them in a branch. So basically, a statement can precede conditions, and any variables declared in this statement are available in all branches. So let's say, for example, now we were creating a variable on the fly. So let's say we say if the number is equal to, basically we are initializing it right here. So it's not if, we're actually saying if, and then we're setting num being equal to 9, and then from here what we're doing now is just to say if this number 9, which is equal to 9, is less than 0, then what we're going to be doing is that we're printing out fmt. So what we're going to do is just print a little message in here, and this message is going to be that the number, as you can see, it's still inside a branch, so we declare it here, but we can use it down here, and we're saying that the number is negative. Else, I'm gonna have an else statement here. Well, actually an if else, because we want to do another check. So we want to check because we're putting this in the branch again to check again. So we define it here, but you can see that we can still use it in the different parts of the if else statement. And now we can check if the number is actually less than 10, and then we can print something out. So what we're going to print here is that num has 1 digit, so it doesn't have 2, it has 1 digit. And then else, we just can pretty much just print that it has multiple digits, or we could just print out the number, it really doesn't matter. So what we're gonna do here, just to say print line, and we can print that num has multiple digits. That is if it is, if this condition is actually false. So we can pretty much go ahead and save this, and then we can run it, and you can see that 9 has 1 digit because it's because of what the condition says, that it is less than 10 and it's not greater, it's less than 10 and it's also not less than 0. So that is why we didn't print out that is a negative number. One thing that should be highlighted, and I'm going to go ahead and add this down here, is that Go does not have the ternary operators in it. So basically, let's say for example, let's declare I is equal to 1, and in the next statement, usually we would have the ternary operators in here, which makes things very useful and handy from time to time because it's pretty simple. So we could say something like if I is equal to 1, then we have this this ternary operator here, the question mark. So what we do is we would pretty much do something like printing out. So let's print out that, do a print line and say that I is equal to 1, and then we would also have the colon here to do the else of it. So it's basically an if else. You guys should by this time understand what ternary operators is, I believe. And we can pretty much just say something like I is not equal to 1. I think this should be a double equals and not, because that's an assignment. So let's go ahead now and save this, and you can see what will happen. You will see, so here we go, we get an error here because it doesn't really understand what this operator is. Usually in a different language, like for example pretty much all other languages that I know, they have some level of ternary operators in here, but Go doesn't have any of those. Let's just delete this, and that is it. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.